What is going on, my good people? Mike Hidalgo here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today we're changing things up just a little bit, and we're going to be working on a 2007 and a 2011 Volvo XC90 P2, one with a V8 and one with a 3.2 six-cylinder. Today on the XC90s behind me, we're going to be covering how to replace your engine air filter. And seeing how we have two different vehicles behind us, the process is going to be pretty much identical. The only thing that's going to change is the size of the filters themselves. Both the V8, the 3.2 six-cylinder, and the 2.5 liter models all are going to share the same process. In front of us, we have some Mala replacement filters, both available on fcpeuro.com. Typically, we recommend you replace these anywhere from 15 to 30,000 miles. In extreme situations, you may want to consider 10,000 mile intervals. The cars behind us are both high mileage, so they're definitely due for some service. So before we get started on that, let's take a look at some of the tools you're going to need to service your XC90. For the XC90 today, again, both the V8, the 3.2, 3.0, or the 2.5T, all you're going to need is a T25. We're using a T25 along with a small 5-inch extension for our 1/4-inch ratchet. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on this DIY. All right, my good people, we are going to start over with the 6-cylinder XC90 first. This is a 3.2. Again, same process for the 3.0 and the 2.5. But we have our airbox located on the driver's side here. I'm going to go ahead and pull off this beauty cover first, or this protective cover. It's just pressed into place. There is a couple tabs here that lock into the top of the airbox itself. This has a couple metal body clips that kind of pinch them into place. Set this to the side. Then up top, we're greeted by our ECU, which is bolted onto the top of the air cover. You don't have to worry about messing with that or moving it. It's going to stay in place. From here, we have 5 T25s that we want to undo around the body of the airbox lid. And once we undo those, we can get to our filter. So we'll grab our ratchet with our extension and our T25 and just work our way around. The hardware is captured, so it's going to stay with the lid. So let's get to it. With all of those pieces loose, we can go ahead and lift up our lid. And now we can see our filter in here. Go ahead and just lift this up gently. It's not terrible. It's definitely been in there for a while and certainly does not hurt to replace it. In some extreme cases, a vacuum may be needed if you haven't done this in a very long time and you have a lot of debris in there, but this car is in pretty good shape. The box looks pretty clear and free, so we'll just insert our new filter. You want to make sure the orange seal sits properly around the bottom half of the airbox. See there, we have our end sticking out. There we go. And now we can set the lid back over. Beautiful. And now we'll just go around and snug all of the T25s back up by hand. These are going into plastic. You don't have to tighten them down a whole bunch. Just nice and snug. And with that, we'll position our airbox beauty cover over the actual airbox once more. You'll feel the clips line up, and that's good. Over on the V8 model, we're going to go ahead and start again, same process. Airbox is over on the driver's side, followed by a beauty cover that we're going to go ahead and lift off. And similar to the other XC90, this is also held in by 5 T25s. And as you can see, the ECU thing kind of remained on these, still bolted to the top of that airbox itself. So starting with the T25 near the air intake tube, we'll work our way around so we can lift up our lid and access our filter. All right, with all 5 of those T25s undone, the same thing, we can go ahead and lift up our lid, pull up our box. Here's our old filter. And not terrible, but definitely not clean. Certainly does not hurt to replace this one. Made in France in 2018. Here's our new filter. Again, same idea. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up our lid. Feed that into our air box. Again, don't forget, Doesn't hurt to have a vacuum handy. If you have a lot of debris in your airbox and you want to get that out, or compressed air works well too. Just be mindful you don't feed anything into the intake tube when you do that. With that nice and into place, we'll set our lid back over. There we go. And same thing, we're just going to work our way around, snugging down those T25s. They are just going into plastic, so be gentle with them. All right, with that, we can take our beauty cover. This one, similar to the other one, locks onto the lid, except this one has 4 small tabs that protrude that key into the airbox lid. Pretty straightforward, only goes on one way. And with that, my good people, that is going to conclude this DIY for today. Overall, a really straightforward and easy but important win on the P2 XC90 chassis. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on what we did today, leave those in the comment section below. And if you like this DIY and you want to see more like them, please consider subscribing. We make new ones all the time. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.